Hello everybody and welcome to our this course, Philosophy 4 Critical Thinking here at Sac State. In this short video, I want to go over the syllabus with you and some of the course requirements and the grading scheme. I'm Scott Merlino. I'm your instructor. The best way to contact me is merlino@csus.edu. So I have virtual office hours. You can email me anytime between 9 and 5 weekdays, and my goal is to respond within 48 hours. This is an asynchronous, fully online course with pre-recorded lectures. This means you have to use the internet to access lectures, discussions, videos, quizzes. There are going to be no in-person or Zoom class meetings. You need to use your official university SacLink email account to correspond with me and receive messages from me, the course, in-campus administrators. When I send around announcements for the course, they're going to go to your SacLink email. So if you have multiple emails, make sure you check this one regularly. I think daily. Okay, what will you need for this course? 3 things. You'll need access to a digital version of this text. You can rent it at redshelf.com. We will be using 5 chapters from A Concise Introduction to Logic by Patrick Hurley, the 11th edition. This is the only edition that you can use. I chose this because it's the least expensive. We will only use chapters 1, 3, 9, 10, and 13. You don't need to buy a paper copy of this text. It's expensive, and many cheap copies you find online will actually be missing chapters. I recommend renting the digital version of it for 180 days from Red Shelf. Here's a link to it. You will need to look at learning modules that I have for you within Canvas. Canvas is the learning management system we use here at Sac State, with which you perhaps are already familiar. In there, I will place recorded lectures and other material beyond what's assigned in the text for you to look at. There are going to be about 5 modules. These are going to be arranged around the 5 chapters we use from the course text. So lectures and everything else occur within each of these. You can start with a link below to access online content in Canvas. There are many ways to get to what I have for you in Canvas, but here is a hyperlink and the URL. You will also need to visit the blog page where I post weekly commentary on course material and assignments. You'll see a link to that within each module within Canvas. It's required reading. All right, let's talk about the structure of the course. This course is delivered fully online using Canvas, which is the campus learning management system. Online activities will include weekly discussions, bi-weekly or so YouTube lectures, quizzes, short videos, handouts, a weblog, and email. To access these materials, you will need a reliable internet connection and web browser. Each week, there are going to be 3 things you need to make sure you do. Watch the most recent video lecture. This is going to be a YouTube pre-recorded video I have for you that I make before the week it becomes available. Next, participate in whatever class discussion is scheduled within Canvas for that week, if there is one for that week. What you will do is answer the specific questions I ask you. You need to complete at least once whatever quiz is open or due that week as well. There's usually a quiz open. You will have many days to take each quiz at least once. I recommend taking it earlier rather than later. Don't wait until the last day. If you have some sort of technical difficulty, I probably can't help you. By the way, this is why I give you up to 5 attempts, so long as you try to take the quiz during the time it's available. Once a quiz closes, it is closed forever. I have Canvas tutorials for you can explore. Here are links to those just in case you haven't used Canvas. We will use discussions and quizzes, especially you want to review how to check your grades. Only you can see your grades or anybody you give access to your grades. All right, so here's how you figure out what's due each week. Use this schedule below here on the syllabus. So what's due each week? Let's talk about the first week of the course, for instance. How you read the schedule as you go from left to right. Week 1, for instance, here's what I want you to read and do before our discussion, when I will be available for commentary or any other questions you might have. Discussions will be open on Mondays, 8 a.m. through Friday, 5 p.m. They close 5 p.m. on Fridays. You can go back and review what we've said to each other. The first discussion is a sort of get to know you discussion. Definitely participate in that. And by participate, what I mean is this. It opens on Monday at 8 a.m. and you should participate by 2 p.m. on Wednesdays so that when I am in there looking at your responses, reviewing your answers, I can give you some feedback. And if you don't respond by then you're going to have to wait for feedback because I've got lots of students and I will use the rest of the week to read your responses. Back to what the schedule says and how to read it. So you're looking at, for instance, the first week lecture will focus on chapter 1.1, arguments, premises, and conclusions. So right off the bat, there's going to be 2 videos. There's this intro to the course syllabus, which is this right now. And then there's my lecture 1, which will be available. You should see it now when you go into Canvas. And this is what I want you to do for practice. I want you to have read already chapter 1.1 in the Hurley text. And as exercise, do the problems in part 1 and part 2 and all of the true or false in part 4 that I list here for you. I do not collect these. I do not grade these. These are practice. In fact, I also will give you answers to these within the module in Canvas. You really should work on these because the questions I ask you in discussion and on quizzes will be just like these. They won't be identical, but they'll be the same sort of question and ask you the same sort of thing. Real quick, these are multiple choice questions, okay, on the quizzes. However, what's in the text may not be a multiple choice question. Obviously, it's going to be the sort of question where you have to sort of craft an answer that's more precise. Use the text as a guide to what I expect you to understand. Review at the end of each chapter the main points. Okay, so for week 1, it also tells you here under events that module 1 will be open and discussion 1 will be open. All right, what do I have to do by the beginning of the second week? You should have read or begun to read chapter 1.2, recognizing arguments and explanations. By the way, this is the week when Canvas quiz 1 will open. Now that quiz will be open for several days. So I do not recommend taking the quiz until you've reviewed the chapter and worked on exercises. Okay, let me briefly go over the 2 kinds of assignments, namely quizzes and discussions in the course. There are 8 quizzes, 8 discussions. 7 of the quizzes are worth 25 points each, and then the final quiz is worth 75 points. So there are a total of 250 possible points available by the end of the semester. You need to participate in at least 5 discussions or you start to lose points. That is, I deduct points from your overall total points accumulated at the end of the semester for too many missed discussions. There's more details below in the syllabus. Each of these quizzes in Canvas is comprised of multiple choice questions. You'll have about 2 weeks to do these. These open on a Monday and they close on the Friday of the next week. Each tests your understanding of material presented from the first week of class up until the week that test opens. For example, the first quiz in week 2 covers chapters 1.1 and 1.2 and all homework assigned within those chapters. You do the homework so you have practice answering the sorts of questions I'll ask you. I recommend also in the homework in the text doing especially maybe first the true-false questions. The true-false questions will test your understanding of the concepts. Notice that for each quiz you will have up to 5 attempts, so long as you take the quiz while it's open. Once a quiz closes, it cannot reopen. This is why I give you the 2 weeks to take it. For each quiz, only the highest score counts. So if you take the quiz 2 times, 3 times, the highest score counts. Why not take it 5 times? The reason I give you so many attempts is, yes, I want you to do well, I want you to get a high score, but also I want you to learn the material. And taking quizzes is actually practice of the skills presented in this course. So the more times you take it, the more chances you have to work with the material, and the higher the score you can earn. It doesn't hurt you to take the quiz more than once. In fact, it's wise to take it multiple times. If I were you, I would take it all 5 times. Take it once early in the week, review your answers, and take it multiple times later before the 2-week period is over. At the end of the week, the second week when it closes, or I should say when that quiz closes, a few days after it closes, I will make the correct answers visible. So you have to go back into Canvas to see those. You will, when you take quizzes, see which questions you get wrong, but you will not be able to see the correct answers until that quiz closes for everyone. And I have instructions on how to review the answers. Just click on that here on the syllabus. Okay, so let's be clear here. You can't retake or make up any assignment. Absolutely no exceptions. These quizzes can't be reopened after the deadline's passed because I release and discuss answers. There can't be any extensions either. There's no extra credit. Extra credit is extra work. We don't have time or resources for more work. Everybody's got to be treated equitably. I cannot do for one person what I can't do for everyone. There are too many students, only one of me. Also, there are plenty of points available so you can miss a quiz or two and still do well in the course. Okay, let me say something about discussions. These occur in Canvas as well. They can only occur in Canvas. This is so other people can look at each other's responses and my comments. These aren't graded. However, participating is mandatory, which means missing 4 or more discussions, and there are 8 of them. Missing 4 or more is going to reduce your total score at the end of the course. Again, you need to do at least 5 of these, or the next time you miss one, when you miss 4, I will deduct 5 points from your overall total score. Review the details of this again on the syllabus. Each discussion is going to feature a logic exercise or a target video or article where students will apply skills and concepts from course material. I'm going to solicit your thoughts about issues by asking you to answer specific questions. Your responses need to occur in a discussion post. I can't process email responses. We can't share those. They're directed to me. So what you've got to do is go ahead and participate in the discussion. The discussion will be open. Each discussion will be open 2 weeks. You've got plenty of time. I don't want you to hesitate to participate in a discussion because this is, again, practice. This is where it's not going to hurt you what you say. It's a chance for you to interact with me and students in the course. I want to see what you're thinking. I want to see whether you understand and can apply the skills, and I want to be able to jump in and help you. So be sure to check back in case I've commented on your contribution. In fact, you should review other people's contributions and then my comments on those as well. That's the point of the discussion. Discussions occur in lieu of our being able to meet in person. So you need to return to each discussion at least once by the end of each week or by the end of the 2-week period and review my responses and those of others as well. What you might have to do, I have over 200 students in this course, so it would be hard to find them. There's multiple pages. If you need to, you should search on your name, my name, to find specifically something maybe I have said. But again, there are multiple pages, so you may not, when you post, you may not see your discussion. It's because maybe you have to go to another page. It's a little clunky. I wish it was designed better. But don't give up. Keep looking. Do review the contributions of others. It helps us learn. We learn from each other. Again, for every 4 missed discussions, that is discussions in which a student doesn't contribute, I deduct 5 points from that student's final points of all points earned. So think of it this way. You are automatically excused for up to 3 discussions. You don't have to send me any excuses. However, after that, non-participation will count against you. At the very end of the course, after you take the final, when I go back and look, basically take attendance, go back and look at how many quizzes you participated in. So you need to participate in at least 4 discussions, 4 out of the 8, or you will lose some points. The last thing I want to say something about is grades. You need to understand up front that they don't grade based on averages or percentages. Your grades are based on total points earned. So by the end of the semester, you'll see your point total increase dramatically, and you'll start entering these categories within which I assign letter grades listed here on the syllabus, where it says total points determine course letter grade. So in effect, you don't really have a grade until the course is over. If you want to know how you're doing, look at your total points accumulated, and if, say, by the 8th week you've got 150 points, then you're in C minus territory. But it isn't over until it's over. You want to do your best on that final exam. So this is why I design it this way, so people don't, give up, and they think they're not doing very well. They're thinking about their grade in terms of percentages, which again I don't use. The more points you accumulate, the higher your grade will be. So it helps you, never hurts you, to take quizzes as many times as possible when each is available. It helps you, never hurts you, by practicing taking these quizzes and earning more points. Okay, here's a question I get. How will you know what you need to know for each quiz? That is, what will each quiz cover? When you look at quizzes in Canvas, either when you click on quizzes to the left of the page or on specific quizzes within each module, you can tell from the title of the quiz what that quiz will cover in the text. For example, quiz 1 will cover, I'm looking right at the screen here, quiz 1 covers chapters 1.1 and 1.2. Quiz 2 covers chapters 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, etc. You can see this in Canvas as those quizzes become available. It will tell you in the description what they cover. And that is all for now. Please go ahead and ask me questions anytime by email. I especially like when you ask questions in that first discussion group so that my answer will be seen by everybody. And what I'll do sometimes is when I get questions by email, if I like them, if I think they're going to help other people, I'll also post that edited. I won't put your name in it. I'll post that as well in that first discussion group for you to review. Okay, that's all, people. Thank you. And I know it's difficult for all of us in COVID times, but let's persevere. Don't give up. Talk to me if you have troubles. Take care. Good luck.